Greetings. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're here for the first time, please like and subscribe. And for those who are seeing me again, thank you for watching again. So today I'll be talking about mental health, basically, because it's a very important yet very sensitive at the same time very complex thing to talk about. It's triggering for a lot of people, a lot of black people in the communities that we live in do not have an understanding of what mental health is or how to deal with mental health. So I thought it would be just good for me to talk about this and highlight my personal experience with this, because it's been a tough 2 years for me, honestly. It's so complex in such a way you don't know how to feel, you do not know what you need, you do not know who to talk to, because people are different. Some people say you just have demons. Some people will say something is wrong with you, or things like that. So I had to write down some of my experiences with regards to mental health, how it started, the stigma, the symptoms, and how it really relates to so many things. So well, for me, I'm someone who was very isolated, like way back. So someone who was shy, someone who wasn't into doing anything at all. So from then it went on and on and on and on until high school. I would say I was a bit free because I went to two different high schools. I went to Sakerland Secondary School, which wasn't bad, but it was a bit uncomfortable with regards to the number of people you would have, around you, around the class and stuff like that. And then I remember I failed grade 11. I think that's for me where it started. Like, damn, my parents think I'm this smart kid. Now I failed. I remember that December, it was hot, bro, hot, and I mean really, really hot. I remember sleeping every day, not wanting to talk to anyone. I couldn't accept it. Get into social media, people would post Matric 20, hashtag Matric 2016, because it was 2015 at the time. So now my 2016, it was more really start, but then I had to change schools. I was a bit more comfortable, with the environment, because it was a very small environment. And then now grade 12, also still trying to find myself. And then the best part of my life starts when I go to university, because here, when you're at home, people know you, and when you have these problems, people can not realize them, and you may not know how to express them or even express yourself, just basically. So now, going to UFS, the University of the Free State, having to now start a new journey. To be honest, at first I was really shy and anxious. Like, for the first time in my life, what, 10 hours or 12 hours away from home. I do not know what, what to do or not to say and how to navigate this place. But as the time went on, I realized that at that new environment I was more comfortable. I was me. I was more authentic. I was at a place where it was just I could be free, and then 2019 it was the same. Okay, I'd say 2018 was the best varsity year for me. I met a lot of people. I became friends with a lot of people. Second year was also really, really good. It's just that when it comes to the friendship side, you couldn't spend the same time with people because now you've sort of leveled up to second year. You're busy. You're doing a lot of things. Yeah. So 2020 comes. I hate that year. So 2020 comes, and now the first 2 months, it's exciting. Third year, you're happy. COVID starts out of nowhere, and then lockdown, and then it got to a point where it's like, now I have to go back to the old isolated me who's indoors every time, who doesn't have a place to go to. Months go by, this thing grows and grows and grows. And then I decide, what, let me leave, because I came back home when a week before the lockdown started. I went back home, and then in July the restrictions were now a bit lifted. You needed a travel permit, so I got one. I left, and then when I got to Bloemfontein, it wasn't the same Bloemfontein. You'd expect, because you're in a new environment, you're in a new place. It's like, it's not the same. The streets are empty. Some of your friends aren't there, and so finally, and now you're like, this is really the end of my university experience. And I remember days when it would get so bad because you're studying online. You don't have much people to talk to. You don't have that many things to do. Even though I played drums at a church in Bloemfontein on Sundays, it still didn't break this thing. So it began to grow and grow. 2021, I applied for law. It's even funny when you even think about that. I applied for law school at the Wits University and University of Pretoria. University of Pretoria now. Oh, Wits University declines because of space, not because I couldn't qualify. Obviously, I qualified because now you have a BA, but space, yeah. But UP later, I think a day after the classes started, they sent me a letter. They accepted me. I was happy. I was excited. Got an NSFAS. NSFAS awarded me with like a bursary for like 130k, which covered everything. It was a good start, but along the way, you're dealing with something that you've never really processed. And this is the thing, this is always the case. We as black people do not have the privilege to sit down and process certain things. It's a fact. This is a huge fact. We don't have the time to heal and find ourselves. You find a white person saying, I need to find myself. I need to explore life. I need to do this. I need to do one, two, three, da 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 da. And then boom, they go to Switzerland. They go to Germany. I'm not saying it's about things, but it's like they have, because of the financial advantage that most middle class white families have. I'd say they have that advantage to just explore and try new environments and try new things. And so for us, it's always about survival, survival, survival. So now getting into law school, having not to have healed from, this thing, it became even worse because now I'm trying to adapt to law school through online learning. At the same time, on my back, it's this mental health weight that I haven't lifted and haven't realized how really big it is. So yeah, the symptoms were just crazy. The crying, the suicidal thoughts. Man, suicidal thoughts is something else, bro. Something else. It's like this thing haunting you and wanting you to just end it, because you don't know in this life what you're gonna get, especially when you're black. The level of uncertainty in your life in particular, it's crazy. So many people out there have degrees, masters, everything, and it's like, man, it's so sad. Uthola umuntu masters but they work at Spa. They, even if they wanted to start a business, how sure are you that they will have a proper business model that will work to support their business and create sort of proper supply chain model that will help them survive? Because another thing, you're also externally affected by the things that are happening in the country. Living in South Africa is a pandemic on its own. It's a pandemic on its own. We can't really run away from that. It's a fact. So it's a toll for a lot of young people to live in a country where there's less innovation, there's less progress, there are no jobs. And then now, because you don't have those things to barely survive, you can't even heal from the baggages that you may have. So now also, because I wrote some of these things down, uh, the stigma around mental health is crazy. Crazy. A lot of people think I remember discussing with someone, and someone said, this suicide thing, it's now a fashion. It's not a fashion. People are just tired. Let's be honest, we are all tired. As black people, when are we gonna get to a point where it's like we are now free financially? Because when you are free financially, it gives you that thing, okay, now because I have a middle class job that pays well and the inflation rate is super, super low, I can now focus on the other things. For example, in this context, your mental health. If you have enough money, you have enough resources, everything is well taken care of, you can begin your journey to start finding yourself, because certain other things are in control. For most of us, a lot of things are not in control. we are not sure, we are scared. You know, depression is like diabetes, but think about diabetes, but for your brain. Depression is like cancer. It's like having um what's it called, a brain tumor, where the because cancer is about an uncontrolled level of cells in your body. So now imagine having a brain tumor that you cannot see. So now it's like no one can see it, no one can understand it, only you can feel it, only you can, you know, try to process it in whatever way. Some people drink a lot of alcohol, some people do a lot of other things to just to get through the day because it's tough. So now I compare it to diabetes because the moment you have it, you have it. There's no healing for it. It's chronic, especially when you're diagnosed with it. It's chronic. You have to now find ways to cope with it. For me, this year it got really worse. I had gotten to a point where I was like, you know what? Let me see a psychiatrist. Let me see, because I have seen a psychologist, but not a psychiatrist. Psychologists, you talk to them, they give you their perspective on, you know, a psychological perspective, but then a psychiatrist gives you the psychological and medical advantage, where you now um, get to understand that stress. I remember when I went there, she told me that you because of the stress that we carry, the hormones in your body, for example dopamine, which is, I think it's one of the hormones that activates happiness. You know, when you're happy, it means dopamine is in your bloodstream. You know, you will show it's okay, you're happy. So now, because of stress and all these things, now I was in a point where I was really compressed. So yeah, diagnosed with depression and anxiety, and was given medication. This is two of the prescribed meds that were given to me to, you know, and they do help. I'm not gonna lie, they do help. Especially, they don't decrease the stress, but they allow me to feel, at the same time give me a bit of control over those emotions. It's vital to feel what you feel, but have that advantage of controlling. So yeah, they do help. I take them 3 times a day, so like after every meal, so that I make sure, because at this point for me, it's I'm not gonna lie, I'm very fragile, and I've gotten to a point where I'm like really open about it, seeking other people's opinions, perspectives, prayers, you can name it. I'm someone who's open to learning certain things, you know. Uh yeah, basically that's it for me. How we can deal with on a broader level, man. I don't know. Honestly, I have searched for the answer and I have not found it. How to deal with it? I don't know. The only thing we can do is hope and pray, because so many people are hiding it so well. Rest in peace to Ricky Rick, first of all. Also, rest in peace to this guy. I don't know his name, but he was on Gomorrah and passed, I think, a week ago or something. So it's for someone who's going through those type of things, and then you see these guys, being in that position. It shows you that we are all human. No one is special. We all go through these things, and it's crazy how some people will filter it so well. I mean, with the Ricky Rig situation, Ricky was an inspiration to so many people, so many individuals, and it's like, man, this dude is gone. This dude was having this avatar in front of him, and now had to, I'm not saying that. Look, the happy side of him, you could see it was genuine. You could see, no, this person is a good person, loving person. But there were certain things, probably very personal things, that he was going through, and that, you know, because it's parallel. There's the side of you that's truly happy, and then there's the side of you that's like, man, you don't know what to do, you don't know what to say. So I think the best thing with dealing with this is just treat it the same way we treat cancer, the same way we treat diabetes. Let's not treat it as something. It is not sadness, because sadness can leave, depression doesn't. You learn to live with it, you learn to cope with it. Busy with postgrad. I also teach social science to a group of grade 6 students, which I enjoy. I found my coping mechanisms. Yes, there are those days where it's like, how can I? But I try my best to think about the people in my life, especially the ones that I'm really close to, you know. I think about some of the things that I haven't accomplished, like the things that I want to do, the impact that I want to make in the world. So it's those type of things where it's like, okay, maybe just try and see. Because there's always grace in trying things. There's always grace in, yeah, this contentment in knowing Guti, you woke up and you tried. To me, there's contentment. It can be the simplest thing, can be the biggest thing, but the fact that I woke up and chose to try. I woke up today and decided to shoot a YouTube video. I tried. I don't know how many views I'm gonna get. I don't know how many likes or dislikes. But the fact that I did this has given me a sense of purpose, parallel to a sense of contentment. So yeah, that's it for this video. So far, I think I've covered everything. So thank you guys for watching. Please watch, share, and subscribe.